Hi there, I'm Christine Dunbar from speechmodification.com, and this is my Smart American Accent training. In this video, we'll look at the words ear, air, are, or, ire, our, and tour. So we want to look at these words because they all have what are called R-Diphthongs, or R-controlled vowels. These are words that have the R at the end, or these are similar to words we could also have R in the middle with these sounds. And we have to move into our our tight American R that's central and tight, from another vowel position. So what I mean by that is when my tongue says the sound, it's either curled back or bunched up in the back. You can get more help for how to do the sound and R words in my American R playlist and my Sounds of English course. But for today, let's build from our that we have in words like earn, her, turn, person, etc., to our other slightly more challenging R diphthongs like ear, air, R, or, etc. So when we're talking about the it can help you to build and say your sound first. So if I say and then I try ear, what I want to feel is that when I'm saying the E sound, my tongue is forward, it fills up my mouth, it's tense, and then I have to glide and pull into the position. So I like to think of it as moving ear. If I say it really slowly, I start on E, ear, ear. And of course, when we're speaking ear, we want to do it as one movement, one sound that glides. So you'll see for ear, in the dictionary, they'll either write it with an E. Sometimes you'll see this with an I in the dictionary. The I position is here, ear. I think we use more of a tense ear when we're speaking, but that's just kind of giving you a general target for where you start and where you move to, ear. Then when we were talking about air, it might be confusing to see in the dictionary. You see this letter E, but that's the sound A. That is here. So while the E is, my mouth is more closed, ear, when I say air, my mouth is starting more open. And again, I'm gliding. Air, air, air. So don't be confused by the letter E there. It is this A sound, which we spell with AI or AY. And we just, instead of gliding to the we're doing air. So we have another diphthong, A, like in say and day. And here we have air, moving from the A position to the position. Then when we're talking about R, that's like the letter R, right? Same name, the to the We aren't all the way back in our American here, or the British It's more like the position with the tongue just dropped down. So if my tongue is more open, R, and I just lift up into that bunched tight tongue, or curl back if I'm doing R with a retroflex R. So that movement would be this direction, lifting up, R. And you'll see that this way in the IPA. When we're talking about or, you'll also see or sometimes written this way with the symbol and the R. That would be like R. But I think that we don't really do an in American English. So I'm going to go here with the O position, just like we have O and oi diphthongs. We have or as well. So I'm moving from a rounded O to my or. There's not a lot of movement and change in the lips because we have to do these sounds quickly. I have to say for, ignore, store, but there is movement, and when you can kind of figure out your starting place and your ending place, that might be helpful for you. When we're talking about ire, we have a diphthong to start. So we have the diphthong I is already moving. Let's get a new color for that. I is already moving from the up here to the E, and then it has to come back down to the R. Ire, ire. So that you might want to just try I, my, and then ire, my ire. And again, you're ending on your Then when we're talking about our, again, we have a diphthong for the first part, the ow. It's moving to this sound like in good. So we have, if I say, for example, now, ow, and then our, I have to come back to my R. Lastly, and not very common, we do also have like in tour, and that would move from the oo sound to the R. For these our and you'll notice you kind of hear our, There's a little bit of a connectin. When I'm connecting from that rounded or oo shape back to my I end up with a vowel to vowel linking. Our. I don't have to intentionally put a W there, but you can hear that our sounds a little bit like ow with the ow W and then my sound. Or tour is, you can hear there's a little bit of a or W in there. With ire, fire, there's a little bit of a y sound in there. Ire, because I'm moving from this I more wide position to my position. So if it helps you to think of that y sound, ire, fire, that's part of what's happening when I'm moving from vowel to vowel. So this was pretty complicated looking at the different R sounds. I am releasing a video soon with these, with some details about these. I also am planning a series showing you some actual tongues moving for these sounds so that you can see someone's mouth, inside the mouth with an MRI. You can see what's happening with those R sounds. But and then we're also going to be talking about how these are spelled. So I'm going to be going through and telling you how different words that have the ear sounds, different ways they're spelled, air, R, or, ire, our, and You might find some of these are more challenging than others. If your her, person, turn is hard, these are going to be hard too, because until you have a solid sound, it's very hard to do these R diphthongs. For most people, ones tend to be difficult. R tend to be difficult when you have to add a D, for example, ard, hard, start, etc. So you'll see I have a number of different videos helping you for particular words and patterns and sounds, but you can always try to build from these root sounds that are just the sound diphthong moving into the R. So I hope that was helpful for you. It's a lot to cover in just one short video, short class. Get more details about R in our American R playlist. Also, do check out our Sounds of English online course that's on speechmodification.com. It's going to help you build a strong foundation for these challenging R sounds as well as all of the sounds of English so that you can more easily pronounce whatever you like when you're speaking in American English. Thanks so much for being a part of class today, and do keep your requests and suggestions coming. I have a long list and I'll be covering your words. I'll be back again tomorrow with another word of the day, as well as on Friday. We'll have our live question and answer class where you can attend and ask me about things that you find challenging when speaking English. Thanks everyone, and looking forward to seeing you again soon. I'm Christine Dunbar from speechmodification.com. Remember, if you want to sound like a native speaker, you can do it. Speechmodification.com. Bye everyone. Thanks.